Hey guys, this is Carrie Rhinehart with 5 Minute Math. Today I'm going to be looking at systems of inequalities by graphing. If you're following along in the book, it's from Algebra 1, Unit 4, Lesson 4. So in the last 3 lessons, I looked at systems of equations. I looked at solving and figuring out where 2 lines intersect. Now we're going to figure out where 2 inequalities intersect, and you need to do this graphically. So it's a lot like solving systems of equations graphically, but there's 1 or 2 additional steps that you have to do when it's an inequality. So let's say we have the inequalities y is greater than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 5, and y is less than 2x minus 1. Okay. Colored pencils come in very handy. Highlighters work very well as well. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph this inequality. Okay, it's just like a line, but you've got to make sure if it's solid or dashed by looking at the inequality symbol. This will be solid because there is an equal to portion to it. So my y-intercept is at 5, and my slope is negative 1/2, so that means I go down 1 and right 2. Down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. And again, this one is solid since we have that equal to portion. I'm going to draw that line. Now, before I move on to the next part, we also need to figure out where to shade, because when you graph an inequality, it's not just that line, it includes a whole area. So this says y is greater than or equal to this. So y is, when you're talking about y's, you're talking about up and down. So if y is greater than something, you're shading above it. So we need to shade above this line. So if we're going to shade above this line, it would be on this side of the line. That would be above it. All right, you can also do test points, but I think that confuses students more, so I'm just going to say if it says y is greater than, you shade above it. If it says y is less than, you shade below it. So I'm going to do the next one I'm going to do in blue. Okay. Now, this does not include an equal to sign in it. So we are going to be using a dashed line. All right, our y-intercept is negative 1, and our slope is 2, which remember, you can always put it over 1. So that's rise 2, run 1, or go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. And remember, this is a dashed line because there's no equal to portion in that inequality symbol. Okay, so we've got that. But we need to figure out where to shade the blue line. Pretend like the red one's not even there right now. This one says y is less than. So that means we need to shade below the line. Well, if you notice, this is kind of more of a left and right thing, but the side that would be considered below would be here. This is underneath that line. Okay? Again, pretend like the red's not even here. You're shading under the blue line. But this is a system, so we want to know where they intersect. So you need to find where the blue and the red shadings intersect. And if you notice, the blue and the red, they're intersecting right here where I'm shading in purple. So I'm going to highlight that line in purple. Same here, that dashed line in purple, but really darken that area where the blue and the red intersect. And that is your solution. And to check this, pick any point in that purple section. So I'm going to pick, let's say 5, 5. I know that 5, 5 is within that purple section. So I'm going to test 5, 5. It should work in both of these equations. So I'm going to plug it into the first one, this. So 5 goes in for y and in for x. And if you need to, you can use your calculator, but half of 5 is 2.5, and it should be negative 2.5. Negative 2.5 plus 5 would be positive 2.5. 5 is greater than 2.5, so it works there. Now I'm going to check it in this one. Again, we're plugging in 5, 5. So I plug 5 in for y, 5 in for x. We get 5 is less than, well, I get 10 minus 1, which is 9. 5 is less than 9. So that point that was in the purple section works for both of them, which means we did this correctly. So again, your solution here is that purple section that's shaded where the red and the blue overlapped. All right, I hope you guys have a great day.